今年ドジャースにトレードで入団しエースとしてチームを支えているグラスノー投手、ベッツ選手がホストを務める番組のオンベースにゲスト出演し、スタジアムで一目ぼれしナンパしたという彼女との出会いや、ピッチクロックと怪我の影響について、大谷翔平選手のピッチャーへの復帰への期待やチームメイトになったことについて語っていました。
I want to get to you and Meg, bro. Like, I think it was while you were pitching, it was going on the broadcast, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Like how you guys met. Take me through the story, please.
So I was rehabbing in Tampa, so like clearly kind of watching the game, kind of looking in the stands, doing like a normal rehab routine. And I was sitting next to Brett Phillips, and our camera guy was next to us, and she was sitting like close front few rows, and I was like, oh, she kind of looks cute. And I asked Will, this is really creepy, but I was like, Will, take your crazy camera and zoom in on this girl. I just want to see if she's cute or not. And then he zoomed in, and I thought she was cute, so I wrote my number on a ball, and I gave it to a bat boy. The bat boy ran it over to her, gave it to her, and apparently she had like a family friend who had 2 tickets that couldn't go to the game, so she was going to both games that like the next day as well. And so she didn't text me or anything, and then came back the next day, wrote her number on a ball, and like came up behind the dugout and like threw it at me. And it was like, you text me, I'm not gonna text you. And I was like, ooh, that's kind of nice. So I didn't think like too much of it. I was like, this is gonna be funny. Like we'll hang out once. And then we went to like dinner. I forgot where we went. The first time we went to dinner, and I was like sold. The first time I met her, she's the coolest, like most normal. We ordered appetizers, and she didn't. She just like went in there. She didn't care at all. Had no like.
Yeah, that
she's
means
the
a lot.
most. Yeah,
That means a
exactly.
lot.
She's like very genuine. Wasn't like nervous or weird or anything. She didn't care at all. I was like, wow, I just want to keep hanging out with this girl. And then we've been hanging out, and now we've been dating for like 2+ years.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
bro.
it's a good story. I'm glad we met like that too.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
story. You said organic. You
Yes,
like it organic.
there it is. It's
You know what I'm
organic.
saying? It gets no more organic than that. Okay, so then you were saying, as you mentioned, you were in Tampa, and then you get traded here. How did you feel when you got traded again? Like, cause you were in Tampa, and it seemed like you were going to be a Ray for life.
I did not think so. I thought it would have been sick. Like hypothetically, it's a great, but I just know the market size and like what was happening as far as like contract negotiations. Like I knew I wasn't going to be there for a while. In the last few years I was there was always rumors about me getting traded. So I had already decided in my brain, like I'm not going to be here very long. Like it didn't really change or like the way I acted or did anything, but I kind of knew for a while like my time here is limited. So,
but then you got traded here.
Yeah.
Which is you're from out here.
Yeah, exactly. I was stoked. Like I kind of heard beforehand too. Our GM was like filling me in. The Rays GM was filling me in about like who was interested, and I was like, ooh, the Dodgers are interested, and I know that their trade package was like better than most. So I really wanted to come here, and then I think it was contingent off of me signing the extension. So I was very willing to like work on that. And when I got traded here, it was awesome.
Did so I heard that there was like a show. The show sent you like a video. What did he say?
It was cool. I woke up one day and he was like, hey, like basically it's such a long time ago. I forgot. It essentially was, I hope you like sign with the Dodgers, and I want to hit a lot of home runs for you and the team and stuff like that. And he's been doing it. It's been great.
He's been
doing a great job. But it was awesome just for like, I think the whole mentality of, I think at that point in my career and now it's like the most important thing to me is winning. And I think him being on the team and making a video to try to get more players to win and take the deferred money, it was like, if the goal is winning, this is the team to win on. And yeah, and it was a no-brainer for me.
I'm genuinely excited when he pitches.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. It'll be awesome.
I'm genuinely excited because I think it's gonna be a national holiday the first day he pitches.
He's already got one in LA. He might have 2 now. It's crazy. I know.
He's gonna have another one.
Yeah, he's nasty.
So tell me about that a little bit. Having had the surgery and going through the rehab and all those type of things, like what does he have to? And what I guess you all kind of will be on the same timeline. So what is that timeline kind of like? What is he going through right now while he's doing all this stuff hitting?
I think probably is helpful. It could either be helpful or annoying to like, at least he's playing while he's rehabbing. I think sometimes it gets annoying when you're rehabbing and you have nothing else to do all day. You go to the field, you rehab, and then you just sit at home all day and like have nothing else to do. I think that's when it can get a little tedious, but it probably helps too that he's doing really well. You know, it like makes the off days of pitching a little harder or not as hard. But it's like an up and down thing. It's like anything. I think you take so much time off of throwing, and you get back into throwing, and the days you don't really feel perfect, the days you're like, I don't know what's going on, and there's a lot of those days. It can get a little frustrating, and I think there's always, when you wake up, there's always pain. You throw, your arm is like, oh, it's fine. You wake up the next day and it feels like it's going to fall off. So it's just a whole lot of like keeping yourself in check and balance of like, I'm going to not feel perfect all the time. It's perfectly okay. I have a lot of time to get it back. And he's such a freak athlete and takes such good care of himself. He'll have no problem coming back, and it'll all kind of work itself out.
I can't wait. It's
gonna be awesome.
Tell me about that. Do you think that the pitch clock, or I know it's going around, the pitch clock is the reason why injuries have gone up on the pitcher side?
I think it's probably a multitude of stuff. It's like the pitch clock. Everyone tries to throw a billion all the time.
Yeah, everybody
There's
does
a lot
try
of that.
to throw hard.
I think if you looked at injury trends too from what did like the velo spike happen? Like 14, 15? I think like it's probably pretty consistent with injuries from mentality of throwing hard all the time. I don't know. I've never looked at it. I think it's a bunch of different reasons. I think the pitch clock sometimes you do have to throw before you're ready. I'm not like a scientist. I don't know if that is leading to it, but there are some times when you're like trying to force, I'll come set or I'll get my sign and I see there's 2 seconds left. I'm like, oh, I gotta go. Or like I go and cover first and then come back, and like you don't have as much time to chill, and especially later in a game, like 6th, 7th inning, when you're a little bit like you kind of need a little bit more time, like you just kind of have to keep it going. And I like the pitch clock as far as game time and shortening it and stuff, and like sitting there and having to watch like a 4-hour game is a little annoying. But like I think it could add to it. I don't really know. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of speculation, but I don't know.
So do you think that guys, maybe an idea is like learning how to pitch more and not just throwing it? But what's the balance though? Because if you start learning how to pitch more, now you take a guy throwing 98 and now it's 94.
I think it's just trying to find. That's the thing. It's like everyone talks about. Your whole career, you spent time trying to figure out how to succeed in this league, and it's not as easy just being like, all right, you throw 95, 98, let's tone it down a little bit and learn how to pitch. It's like you can't just do that within you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like a season. There's obviously, I think the trajectory for me anyway was, I used to throw like my average velo was like 97 something. Now it's probably 96, low 96. So I think the natural evolution of a pitcher is kind of now stuff first, then learn how to pitch, and realize you don't maybe need to use velo all the time. But it isn't one of those expedited things. You kind of have to learn in your own natural pace. But over time, and the experience allows people to understand how to pitch, and that's different for everyone. Everyone's got a different idea of how to pitch, but it's clear too, you don't need to have 98 to succeed in this league. Like look at all the dudes right now, like Suarez and what's the guy I always say his name wrong. The guy who's got like a .8 ERA.
Oh,
Imanaga.
Yeah.
You don't need to throw a billion. Like you just got to find your successful thing. And mine happens to be kind of throwing hard, and I'm tall. And like, it works for me.
This year you're leading strikeouts. You're pitching great. Which last question. What was it like when you heard Shohei was signing with the Dodgers? Like where were you at when that kind of happened? And I want to hear your perspective on that.
I was like, so for me, I knew I was going to get traded, and I knew that they were a potential option. So when he signed there, I was like, that's kind of cool. It would be even cooler if I went to the Dodgers now. Mm-hmm. From an outside perspective, I guess what I was thinking of was like he had played for the Angels. Maybe he'd played in LA and been like, I really like it here. Probably heard really good things about the organization, because I feel like most people ask around and everyone says good things about the Dodgers. I think more just for the game. Like that's the market to like put him in. They're like a New York team. I think overall for the game, I was like, this is amazing. He's there for it's a crazy amount of money, however many years, 10 years. This is amazing. It's like a huge demographic of a bunch of different people, huge international market. Like this is great for MLB. That's probably the first thing I thought.
Mm-hmm. And then now seeing him every day, like is he better than or worse or whatever than what you actually thought?
I feel like it's the expectations of like watching him from afar and then seeing him, he's just doing the same thing he's always done. He's just dominating. He's killing it this year. And I think the most surprising thing is how chill he is. And I think it's easy if you're hitting 360 with 13, it's easier to float around a little bit. Right. But even when he's struggling, like beginning or whatever, all the stuff going on, like he is you've seen he doesn't. He's just like whatever.
same.
He's always happy. He'll go 0 for 4 and come in and just laugh. He has just the iconic laugh. I hear it. It echoes through the clubhouse, 24/7. And he's just chill. He just doesn't.
He's the real deal.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's just a freak, and he's gonna come back and pitch. It's gonna be crazy.
That's what I'm super excited for. Well, Glass, thanks for coming on here.
大谷選手の投手復帰について特にベッツ選手からはとても楽しみにしていることが伝わってきました。彼女との馴れ初めの話も彼女からはメッセージを送らず次の日に彼女からボールを渡しグラスノー投手からメッセージを送らせたというのも面白いエピソードでしたね。ピッチクロックから球速や投球術の話題では今永投手の名前が出たことも聞いている側として嬉しかったです。大谷選手がゲスト出演することはあるのでしょうか。楽しみにしています。